We keep on talking about, will Arizona State blow out this team? Will they blow out that team? Well, Totri, I'd like them to actually do it this time.
Me too, buddy. Happy Friday, and welcome into the PHNX Sun Devils show, presented by Branded Bills. Make sure you head to brandedbills.com and use that code PHNX for 15% off your first order. I am Anthony Totri, joined as always by old dog legs himself, Mr. Rubis, and of course we got the deli man behind the Mac making all of the magic happen. Before we get into everything that we need to talk about today, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast.
And shut up for a second.
Ooh. It's just great stuff. Great stuff. Did YouTube go back to
it's being silly again.
Man, that's unfortunate. Well, we appreciate everybody that's here, including the Green M&M, Michael Lopez, Deborah, Rob, McKay. We appreciate everybody stopping by on a Friday to talk about Arizona State's Big 12 showdown against the Colorado Buffaloes Saturday evening. Of course, we will be doing a pregame show, a watch-along, and a postgame show as well. So definitely make sure you're subscribed to PHNX Sports and you're locked in tomorrow, because a half hour before kickoff, we'll be right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. Again, breaking down the game and taking you up to kickoff right before that watch along. We got a lot to get into today, of course, on our Friday shows. We've got predictions. We got Heat Index at the tail end of the show. We will be talking a little bit about ASU Hoops with their win last night. Positional rankings, the Big 12 slate, the list goes on and on and on, Rubis. But of course, the thing that everybody's been talking about all week long, or I guess one of the things that everybody's been talking about all week long, is JT, Jordyn Tyson. Will he be available against Colorado on Saturday? Kenny Dillingham on the radio this morning saying that it is trending in the direction of being a potential coin flip, a game time decision. We'll see how JT looks Saturday pregame, running through warmups. But honestly, if this is a game that he was pushing to play in for the last month since he's been missing it, looked really good at practice the last time we saw him on Wednesday. And if there's been no setbacks to that point, I know he was listed as questionable Wednesday evening on the initial player availability report, questionable again on last night's report. I feel like things are trending in the right direction to potentially see the return of Jordyn Tyson.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't play. I think that's something that you and I have talked about quite a bit, about him obviously having to keep into account his future and then the type of injury that it is and how it might linger or how he might aggravate it again. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't play. That being said, I am progressively feeling better and better if we're doing the jelly check, the gut check. Like I'm feeling, and I said this earlier today before hearing what Kenny had to say. I was talking with the DNVR bus guys, and I said I feel like 55-45 he plays, right? Because
55 in favor of him playing or not playing?
Yes. Yeah, in favor of him playing.
Gotcha.
And part of that being how good he looked in practice after that first day, where he definitely did not look like he was game ready. So seeing that and understanding that he has been working for it, he's been out for a while, like it's been a pretty long time since he sustained the injury. I feel slightly favorable towards him playing. Obviously, I don't have any information or anything, but if he doesn't play, I'm not going to lose my mind and be shocked.
Yeah, it's kind of what we talked about against West Virginia, right? And everything's hindsight's 2020 looking at the game, but we said against West Virginia that you didn't need to go out there and have an otherworldly game to beat that team, right? I feel very similar this week against Colorado. You don't need to play your best brand of football to win. Would it be great? Would it be nice? Certainly, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But as it relates to Jordyn Tyson, Colorado's defense, lets you run, lets you throw, lets you do just about anything that you want to do as an offense to find the end zone. So would it be nice to have Jordyn Tyson out there? Absolutely, especially considering that Territorial Cup game next week could have major implications on a potential Big 12 championship game or appearance for Arizona State. So would it be nice to get JT out there, maybe shake off a little bit of the rust if there is any, and just so he can get back into the feel of things prior to that game? Absolutely. But the last thing that you need to do is force this I guess I don't even want to call it a rivalry, right, between Tyson and Colorado, but this
force the storyline.
Force the story for JT of this is my former team, second to last regular season game. In college football, this is where my career started at Colorado. You don't need to do that, right? And I don't think he will, and I don't think this coaching staff will allow him to do that because at the end of the day, you don't need it. I very much see a scenario where Arizona State doesn't even need to play its starters into the fourth quarter. That'd be nice, right? If we could get to that point in the season where this team plays a perfect game of football, we get to the fourth quarter, we get a look at Cam Dyer and some of these other young, talented players on the roster. And, of course, JT would be sitting at that point in the game. So, I don't think you need him out there by any stretch of the imagination. Again, I think it would add another layer to this offense. But this offense has been pretty solid since Jeff Sims took over against Iowa State several weeks back. And it feels like it's growing week in, week out. I would expect more of a Iowa State type game plan against Colorado, where it is, in my mind, going to feel a lot more run-based, a lot more QB run-based. So how much is JT doing out there anyways? Are you forcing him to go out there? Or, excuse me, is he forcing himself to go out there just to run block at this point, right? So I think it's going to be an interesting situation. Of course, we'll monitor it pregame and see if anything breaks prior to that. There is another availability report tonight. I can't imagine that JT would be listed as anything other than questionable, especially given what Dilly said this morning. And I think this, Erik, is another great opportunity for the wide receivers on this team, young, old, experienced, inexperienced, to get out there against a team in which they should dominate and get some really good reps, down the stretch.
Yeah, and look, there's no reason for Jordyn Tyson to play this game because of who they're playing. The only reason why Jordyn Tyson should play this game is because he's good to play football, right? Yeah. That's it, point blank, period. And everybody understands the future of him and what's at stake as well. I agree with you. I don't believe that they would play him unless he's healthy. Now, there is something to be said about playing him on a snap count, playing him in very limited reps or limiting what he can do, whether that is, blocking or not having him run crazy routes every single time or feeding him the ball so he takes a ton of hits. I think there's a way to have him active and test out that hamstring and see how it reacts to live game reps without there being a massive burden on him actually stepping up. But at the end of the day, even if Jordyn Tyson plays, one of the biggest problems we saw with this offense was the fact that the other wide receivers didn't find a way to step in and step up. Now, was that the offensive play calling? Was that the quarterbacking? Was that the wide receivering? If that's even a term, it's all
wide
three.
Receivering.
The wide receivering. It's all three, right? So we've seen Derek Eusebio have a game. We've seen Malik McClain have moments, right? We've seen Jalen Moss have moments. We've yet to really see Jaron Hamilton.
He had a moment. He had a game.
He had not with Jeff.
Not with Jeff, no.
Right, and so that's kind of what I'm thinking with the current iteration of this team. He obviously had I think he had 2 games. He had that TCU catch, and then he had that one game where it was 3 receptions for over 100 yards, and the only other wide receiver to go over 100 this season besides Tyson.
Yeah.
But if Tyson's out there, it just inherently makes life easier, not just for the receivers, Totri, but look, Colorado doesn't have a good run defense, but you want to know what they're going to put all their focus and emphasis on this weekend? Run defense. If Jordyn Tyson's out there, they at least have to be a little bit more distracted.
Yeah, 1,000%. And Van Sheesdy said it, would Tyson play as a decoy primarily? That question has been floated around, I think, a number of times, whether on this show or just in passing, from being out at practice and being out there. I'm personally in the camp that if you are just going to throw Tyson out there as a decoy, then don't play him. What's the point, in my mind, of somebody that's been dealing with a nagging hamstring for the last month? And just going out there, you can tweak it doing just about anything, right? Yeah. So I don't think there's a reason to go out there if you're gonna be a decoy. If you need to have a decoy against Colorado, then that's a problem in my mind. Again, like, would it be nice? Would it be great? Yeah, of course. I think Jeff would absolutely love to get Jordyn Tyson back out there. The one time that we saw these two play together, Tyson had 16 targets against Utah, right? Like, he clearly wants to feed him the ball, which has been the recipe for this offense every game that Tyson's playing. So I'm in the camp of, if he is good to go, let him out there, let him play if that's what he wants to do. And as soon as you get up a certain amount, sit your happy ass on the bench and get ready for that Territorial Cup next week. In my mind, you don't need him as a decoy. And if you do, there are deeper discussions that certainly need to be had. Short Bus Comedy in the chat. Why are Totri's hats looking more and more like the ones the guards wear in front of Buckingham Palace? He's gearing up for London. I absolutely am. If you're not gearing up for that game next year in London right now, then I don't know what you're doing. I'm juiced, amped about it, but of course that's 2026. We got some interesting 2026 news that broke this morning. We'll get into that when we talk a little bit more about the Big 12 slate and how one particular Big 12 fan base is probably very, very upset this morning. But before we do that, kind of going off of the Tyson discussion, I do quickly want to hit our positional rankings and our breakdown that we have between Arizona State and Colorado, because there hasn't been an opponent all year long outside of, I think, the NAU and maybe Texas State game where it has been this far on the opposite end. Arizona State has an advantage every single spot here: quarterback, running back, pass catcher, O-line, run defense, pass rush, DBs, and coaching. The one spot that they don't, Erik, special teams, which we know has been an issue, an ongoing issue for the Sun Devils really the last 2 seasons.
Yeah. You know, you want to know how they lose this game, Totri? It's a long shot. Turnovers and special teams. Because if you have a bunch of penalties, if you get bad punts, if you get kicks blocked, if you give Colorado any sort of momentum, and that is a big way to give them momentum, that's the only way that I could see them even being threatened to lose this game. If you play good, sound, solid, fundamental football and you don't turn the ball over, you punt well, you kick well, and you don't get laundry thrown on every time you kick the ball, I don't see how ASU loses this game. And I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. Like, Colorado also is dealing with a ton of injuries as well. Like, their defensive line is completely banged up, and they already bad before that, right? They've had rotating quarterbacks in and out and in and out. And obviously they settle on their 5-star, but he hasn't had the whole season to get ready. They've got some really talented pieces on there, but so does Arizona State. And this is just a Colorado team that is not good. They're just not. And you can't allow them an inch, because in the Pac-12ification of the Big 12, you give these bad teams an inch, they're going to take a mile.
Yeah, 1,000%. And the Green M&M says Colorado's as close to being 7-3 as we are to being 3-7. Can't overlook them on the road. Again, I don't think the players and the staff are overlooking them. I am 1,000% going to look straight past them. I have no care or concern for Saturday's game whatsoever. This could get clipped and turned into a meme if something goes drastically the other way. But Colorado has been buns just about all season long. They played Georgia Tech really close at the start of the year. They played BYU pretty close around the start of conference play. But since then, Colorado's defense you might as well just have 7-on-7 out there because they don't have a defensive front. The defensive front under Warren Sapp has not been good whatsoever to this point. Again, prior to that West Virginia game, they had given up a back-to-back games of over 100 points scored on that defense. Again, they do have some good young pieces, but they still look like they're pretty far away from putting it all together. The only thing in my mind is maybe ASU starts out slow because, again, we're talking about a hot weather team going against a colder weather team at their place, right, where the weather it doesn't look like it's going to rain or snow, but it should be pretty cold by Arizona State standards, right? So, again, that in my eyes is really the only thing that is, a potential.
It's gorgeous tomorrow.
Thing for concern. What's the weather?
The high is 53, sunny all day.
Yeah. So I'm not too worried about that. This is for Sharon saying it's already hate week in my mind. I've moved past Colorado. This is the perfect back-to-back hate week for me. to have CU and then Arizona. It's just 2 full weeks of hate. But it's all good. It's all good. I feel confident in what Arizona State is going to do. But just because the Sun Devils are favorites doesn't mean that they don't need players to step up and have big-time performances to get the job done. We will get into Heat Index, our predictions. We will take a look at the rest of the Big 12 slate and more on the other side of this quick break. Look, no UFC card this weekend, but it doesn't mean that I won't be sitting on my couch indulging in pure edibles, because
I can find somebody for you. Maybe you just watch that.
Yeah, I'm down. Hey, look, it makes sports, it honestly makes anything that you're watching 10 times better, I promise you. Plus, your taste buds are going to thank you, because pure edibles, they're not like, you know, the casual gummy that tastes like weed and you take a bite and you're just like, ugh. These gummies taste like candy. Seriously, I highly recommend you give them a shot. Pure, it's a full-fledged candy company offering gummies. They've got Kicks, which are their version of Starburst, Chews, soft candies like caramel, and then hard candies as well. Pure offers gummies for sleep support, as well as candies with uplifting effects derived with unique cannabinoids such as CBN, CBG, CBD, with marijuana-derived THC. Make sure you go find yourself some Pure Edibles products from one of the over 130 dispensaries across Arizona.
Look, 'tis the season for hate week. It's also the season for love and celebration and family and gift giving. And that's why our friends over at Arizona Lottery, they want to remind you that the best way to stock your stuffings, the best gift that you can get for that person that you don't know how to shop for, are some scratchers over with Arizona Lottery. Of course, you have to be over 21 to play, and the person you're gifting has to be over 21 as well. There are 6 festive scratchers to choose from, including Cash Countdown, which has prizes up to $250,000 in candy cane cash, which smells just like peppermint. There's an element of fun, an element of surprise. You play a little game, and who knows, maybe the person that you gift walks away a whole lot richer. Love to play and spread holiday cheer with holiday scratchers from Arizona Lottery. Play and gift today, and if you win anything, just hit us up. Take us on vacation or something. I don't know.
For sure. Let's do it.
We're here for you every day. You might as well hang out with us.
7 days, Rubus.
Yes.
7 days until we have an absolute party, courtesy of Captain Morgan, a PHNX Sun Devils live post-game at Loco Patron on Mill. Again, Friday, November 28th. We're going to be doing our Territorial Cup post-game show. Starts about 30 minutes following that final whistle. It is going to be an absolute blast. What are you looking forward to most next Friday following the game at Loco Patron?
Shots with Wes Beasy.
Yeah, that's 100% valid.
And Sharon too.
And Sharon, you coming up for the game?
Yeah. What are we doing?
Yeah, we need to get on the same page here. Is everybody going to be there?
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen one person say that they'll be there in this chat.
Yeah. Can somebody? Well, Wes Beasy.
No, Ben Sheedy.
Ben Sheedy will be there. Wes Beasy will be there. Just maybe put the Sims emoji.
I'll be there.
If you're going to be there, I'm going to be there.
Short Bus said that he'll be there.
Short Bus put the Sims emoji right on cue. He's going to be there.
The captain will be there.
The captain will be there.
And his ship.
Chat.
Captain Morgan.
I'm not even BSing. The captain Morgan will be there with his ship.
Short Bus is going to be there. Rob says he lives in Connecticut.
Okay, that's all we ask.
They have planes, Rob. They have planes. That's all I'm saying. Hell of an invention. Get on one. We'll see you at Local Patron next Friday.
Local Patron sounds a hell of a lot better than Connecticut, I'll tell you that.
Hit the subscribe button. Drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. Rubus, let's not waste any time here. Let's get straight into the Heat Index, some players that I think need to have big games. And you'll notice here that normally when we do Heat Index, there's like 1 fire emoji if they just need to have an all right game. 2 fire emojis if they need to have a solid game. 3 fire emojis is you need to go off. And I'll explain why I think each one of these individuals needs to go off at the tail end. But Jeff Sims, for me, again, the last 2 games that this guy has played in, he's been Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week, continue to have just a phenomenal stretch of games here. If you're Jeff Sims, you are developing as a player. I think this offense is slowly starting to develop around Jeff Sims' skill set. You got to tip your cap to Marcus Toroyo and Jeff Sims on that front. But this is the worst defense that Arizona State has faced in conference play. Jeff Sims should absolutely go out there and carve up the Buffs.
Look, Buffs fans are worried about Jeff Sims. Okay, I've mentioned it a couple times. I talked to Jake over from DNVR, and they are scared of Jeff Sims, and they are scared of him running roughshod over their entire team. I'm not being facetious right now. It's the first thing we talked about, and they are wildly impressed with what he has been doing. He can single-handedly win Arizona State this game. He can. He has the ability to. And I think if you asked me, a month ago, if I would say that, I'd probably say no. And he has proven that he does. But it's a perfect combination. Look, West Virginia, for all their faults as a team, their strength goes up right against Arizona State's strength. They have a really good run defense, a very good run defense. Colorado's the exact opposite. Their weakness lines up perfectly with Arizona State and specifically Jeff Sims' strength. Sims has the chance to win them this game without even throwing the ball. That is how big the discrepancy is. And if he can find a way to take advantage and the offense can find a way to keep it, unique and fresh and not, okay, Colorado knows what's coming. There's a chance that Sims does some crazy numbers on the ground this weekend.
Let's do it. Records are meant to be broken, Jeffrey.
And he already did.
Let's break some records against those Buffs, okay? Before we get to the next member of the Heat Index, I want to shout out Zandanista, who just became a member. Appreciate you. You now have access to all of those supporters club emojis, the Sims emoji, the forks up, the dilly emoji. Who knows? Potentially some more emojis on the way, depending on the outcome of the Territorial Cup. Looking around at the deli man. There it is. A light ding there. Again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We'll go ahead. We'll have a dance party for you at some point, Zan. I promise. You deserve it for becoming a member. Let's go ahead and get to the next member of the Heat Index, and that's your guy, Raleek Brown. Raleek Brown, actually, he's our guy. He's all of our guys.
I'll take it.
Raleek Brown.
No, do not make him Eric's guy.
You're right.
We know
Eric,
what happens to Eric's
you have
guys.
one guy, and that's it. You're allowed to only have the one.
Eric's guys don't play, and when they do play, they're usually not very good.
It's not true.
Look,
not true.
Raleek, it's been a minute, I feel like, since we've gotten, blessed with a Raleek Brown game. We talk about how piss poor this run defense is for Colorado and how Jeff Sims should be able to torch it. Raleek Brown should do the exact same thing on the ground. I would not be shocked if we're hopping on this post-game show tomorrow talking about Raleek Brown going over $153 touchdowns. Would not be surprised.
No, I mean, we've been waiting for that signature Raleek game for a while now. I mean, his overall stats are good, but the start that he got off to this season was incredible. This would be really nice to see him get going. I mean, just those two on the run game alone can keep Colorado honest, with whatever you're doing. If it's an RPO, if you're if you are worried about both of those guys in the backfield every single snap, immediately the run is harder to stop. And Raleek, I wouldn't be surprised if Raleek pulls off his longest touchdown of the season this weekend or his longest run of the season. I have high expectations for him against Colorado. I got high expectations for a lot of this team, but the two guys we've talked about so far are definitely the two that I have with the highest.
Yeah.
Do I need to remind chat real fast?
Buns.
16th in
not good
defense.
They are the worst in the conference. That is worse than Oklahoma State, who has yet to beat a Big 12 team this season. So keep that in mind every time Raleek Brown touches the rock. And really anybody runs the football. I am calling my shot now. We're going to get a Jaron Hamilton jet sweep touchdown.
Ooh.
I want it. I want to see it. There's no reason it shouldn't happen. Just don't let it happen on 3rd and 1. Otherwise, I'm going to blue scluse my way through that TV and land at Folsom Field and have a serious talking to Marcus Arroyo.
I just got curious after pulling that stat up. So Oklahoma State in rushing yards per game, I can't even find them on this graphic. Or on
this allowed?
Yeah. Sorry. I don't know. Regardless, it doesn't matter. There are 4 teams worse at rush defense in terms of yards per game than Colorado in college football. It
really?
is Eastern Michigan, who's the worst in the country. Georgia Southern, UMass, who might be one of the worst college football teams ever assembled. Georgia State, and then Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado. Actually, wow. Oklahoma State's not even 15th.
Yeah,
on this
Utah
list.
is, I think.
Utah?
In terms of rush yards allowed, no, Baylor is.
Baylor.
So Baylor gives up 197.8 yards on the ground a game. Colorado is up over 200. They give up 210 yards on the ground per game. Just to put that into this number is crazy. Texas Tech on the year has given up 790 rush yards, which is crazy in its own right? That's number one in the conference. Colorado, to this point in the season, has given up 2,109 yards on the ground to the opponent. That is otherworldly. That is ridiculous in terms of what teams have allowed on the ground this season. Yeah, there is no reason that Raleek Brown and Jeff Sims shouldn't run wild on Saturday.
Okay, I knew that they were bad just from the eye test and like watching them, but obviously didn't know the full numbers. That is crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, 2,000,
wow.
2,100 yards. 2,100 yards. 200 yards per game, dog.
Dude, okay, so you called your shot. I'd like to call my shot.
Let's hear it.
Special teams touchdown.
Wow. You calling your shot with any specific individual?
I mean, Jaron, it's so enticing to pick Jaron, but give me Samp. Give me Samp.
Okay.
Man,
I'd love to see Samp get in the end zone,
birthday boy this week. Birthday boy this week. So happy late birthday to Zachariah Sample. And I think we get a special teams touchdown from him.
I'm here for it. Short Bus says he could get 65 yards on the ground against Colorado. Maybe, man. You might be able to. Just
would that still be called rushing yards?
It'd be rolling yards.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it'd be rolling yards at that point. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button again, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. The final member of our Heat Index this week is none other than Keith Abney. Keith Abney, again, has been maybe the best corner in the conference. Actually, scratch that. He has been the best corner in the Big 12. He has certainly put his name in the conversation for best cover corner in the country at this point, whether you believe it or not. He has been absolute locked down corner for this team. The reason I have him on this list is because of Julian Lewis, right? Somebody on the opposite end for Colorado who has shown some flashes, a talented young quarterback. Dion said earlier this week that he's finally starting to put it all together. I mean, if you're CB1 in this conference, it's time to shut down any sort of confidence that Juju might have here. Like, you need to take care of business.
I think Juju might have a decent game. I mean, ASU, the way that ASU calls their defense, it's very like bend, don't break. I mean, we know the statistics for ASU's, passing defense. It's not fantastic, and it hasn't really been that way from the start of the year. I think Keith Abney's going to take advantage of a very poor decision from a very young quarterback. And it might be like a game-sealing play where ASU's up 2 scores, Colorado has the ball, and Julian Lewis feels like he's got to do something, and he tries to do something, and he accidentally decides to target Keith Abney, which is always the wrong decision, as West Virginia learned last weekend, and Keith's going to make him pay. I can't believe we've gotten to this point. You and Shane as the Abney activists, and as the day one Abney supporters to this point where it's like, yeah, this guy might just be the best in the country. Like that's just crazy, man.
Things you love to see. Arizona State Sun Devils being number 1 in the country at something. JT, innovation, all of the things. But again, I said it before we even got into Heat Index. I gave all these guys 3 fire emojis, meaning they need to go off. Now, the reason I say they need to go off is because Dilly made a pretty big statement on Wednesday saying that he feels like the team potentially had its best Tuesday and Wednesday practice that they've had all season long. He also said last week that he has been waiting to see this team put it together for 60 minutes in all 3 phases: offense, defense, special teams. He thought it was going to be against West Virginia, right? Given the way that game started, like 22-10, he felt like that was the moment. And it wasn't, right? We have yet to get to a point in the season where we can fully, from start to finish, watch Arizona State manhandle an opponent. This is the opponent that you need to manhandle. Jeff Sims, Raleek Brown, Keith Abney, the star players on this team right now for Kenny Dillingham's Arizona State Sun Devils. Do they need to go off to win? No. Do they need to go off to inspire some sort of confidence going throughout the rest of the season for a territorial cup, potential Big 12 championship, for a bowl game? Absolutely. If you are not going to put it together against Colorado, then you're not going to put it together. It's just that simple. It's a bad team on the other end, a team that you are 1,000% better than. Now, again, if you overlook them, couldn't they beat you? Yeah, it's college football. That's why we play the game, right? But given the way that Jeff Sims and Raleek Brown and these guys have played recently, what Dilly had to say in terms of what they've done over the last couple of weeks in terms of practice, you need to go out there on the road and make a statement, especially given all the noise that has been around this program over the last month about Kenny Dillingham. Oh, is he going to go to LSU? Oh, is Sam Levitt going to enter the transfer portal? Enough of the noise. You know what speaks louder than any reports? Beating someone's ass on the field for 4 quarters. And that's exactly what Arizona State needs to do against Colorado on Saturday, and I won't accept any other outcome. Beat that Buffalo ass on Saturday.
I don't even want to say anything. I think we just sit here in silence for 30 minutes after that.
Can somebody give me, so on the other side of the ball, can somebody give me Colorado's leading rusher?
Oh, Welch.
Yeah, total yards, though, on the season.
Total, he's got 400 yards.
Was he like on the dot, you think 400?
Like 412.
Give me 430.
You're 100 yards off. 313 yards.
313.
See, that's crazy because I
put that in perspective,
brought this guy up.
ASU has an 800-yard rusher, a 400-yard rusher. Like,
how many yards does Jeff Sims have on the ground?
Let me see.
Probably he might have more than Colorado.
He might have 400 something.
He has, he's the 400-yard rusher.
And
then Sam
more
has
rush
300.
yards than Colorado's leading rusher. And Jeff Sims has played in 3 games this year.
You know what's
he gets
funny?
Sacked.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I remember bringing it. The reason why I knew it was Welch, right, is because I remember asking you earlier this week, Totri, that same question.
Did he lose 100 yards since then?
Dude, I looked at this guy's stats and I was like, oh, yeah, 400, that's bad. I literally forgot like how bad it was. 300 is just.
They can't run the ball and they can't stop the run, man. Look, I think Arizona State has played up and down to its competition in 2025. Enough of that. Go beat their ass, man. I don't need to get on the post-game show and have everybody upset that they won, but it was close. Again, this team a few weeks ago was giving up 50 burgers like they were outside of an unnamed burger establishment, right? You need to handle this team in all 3 phases. And there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Look, we will get to our predictions. We're going to dive into the rest of the Big 12 slate and talk some ASU hoops on the other side of this quick break.
Look, we can't predict tomorrow's game exactly how it's going to happen, and you can't predict what's going to happen in life. And that's why if something serious happens, like an injury or a wrongful death, you need to be prepared. And you can be prepared by having the number for the husband and wife law team and calling them first if anything ever happens. 602-783-8841. That's 602-783-8841. You have the right to trust your lawyers. And as your lawyers, they will tell you both the strengths and the weaknesses of your claim so that you can make informed decisions. They also can't promise the outcome of a legal case, but they're happy to make you and all of their clients promises, like being able to cancel your fee agreement at any time for any reason, receiving at least as much in your pocket as they receive for their attorney's fees, and you may speak with one of their lawyers as often as you choose about anything you want. They are specialized in injury and wrongful death. They actually go to trial, and their entire practice is 100% dedicated to injury and wrongful death. So if you've had a serious injury or you just want to be prepared, which you should, call the husband and wife law team first at 602-783-8841 or visit their website at the link in our show notes and tell them that PHNX sent you.
Look, I sometimes am afraid to admit how much I love to save money, but I do. And Circle K helps me do it every single day. In fact, I went to Circle K by the office on Wednesday, and I only put $8 into my tank. I needed it, absolutely needed it to get through to the next day. But the reason that I only put $8 in on Wednesday is because yesterday there was an Inner Circle Fuel Day, and I saved 40 cents per gallon on gas just for being an Inner Circle member. And it's super easy. All you got to do, go to the App Store, download the app, enter your email and phone number. That's it. You're a part of the Inner Circle, which means you're going to start saving money every time you show up to Circle K. Literally, when you start off as an Inner Circle member, the deals are amazing because all you got to do, when you pull up to the pump, type in your phone number, you're going to start saving 25 cents per gallon on gas on your first 5 fills. But again, the deals don't stop there. Drinks, snacks, gas, all of the things. Join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details. Again, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast. We appreciate everybody hopping in today to talk Arizona State. I saw a couple questions from Parker earlier. I do want to get to one of them that he had kind of off the top. Do we think that Deion's coaching for his job at a certain point? Maybe not this year, but next year. Is next year a prove-it year?
No.
No, you don't think so?
That guy makes that program more money than they made their entire existence the last couple of years.
He does make them a lot of money.
Here's the thing, and Kenny said this, they've won 300% more games this year than they did the year before Deion was here. That was, no hyperbole, the worst program in college football before Deion got there.
Yeah.
They were really bad. Last year, they were in the Alamo Bowl. They had a Heisman winner and the Big 12 Offensive and Defensive Players of the Year. This season sucks. They're still making 1 million times more money than they did the season before Deion got there. Next year, they could suck. Guess what? Media coverage and recruiting and money made and tickets sold and talent on the field will be 10 times better than it was in that first season still. Yeah. There's no way he's coaching for his job. Deion will be there until Deion wants to leave. I feel that wholeheartedly.
Yeah. I think that's more so for me what it is, less of him coaching and, coaching for his job, more so just how long does he want to do it, right?
Yeah.
He's obviously got some health stuff that he's been dealing with, so it is a curious question to see how long this is something that he wants to do. Long term, I think, again, like you said, he could be at Colorado as long as he wants to, based off of what he has done to turn that program around. He has done a phenomenal job, I think, turning that program around, especially given where it had come from. But not to say that there hasn't been a few missteps here or there, and one of them being letting Jordyn Tyson hit the transfer portal. Because I think it was pretty evident watching him as a true freshman that he was an explosive talent. Yes, he obviously went down with that knee injury, but should have taken a flyer on the guy, man, because he is a top 10 pick in the 2026 NFL draft. And I saw a mock today that had him going 4 overall to the Tennessee Titans. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But one thing is certain, Jordyn Tyson is an absolute baller. So are you, though, Rubus. You're an absolute baller in your own right. Congratulations on you winning your one-on-one basketball contest last week.
This is what we're talking about right now?
Unnamed media member. Well, I'm getting there. You're a baller because you called your shot. You called your shots a couple times. What is your shot call tomorrow in terms of a score prediction?
Yeah, I think ASU is going to win this game, and I think they're going to win it pretty handedly. I got 37-17. ASU wins by 20 points. I think Colorado possibly has it semi-close at halftime, and then ASU just opens up a can of whoop-ass coming out in the second half. They win by 20, but that fourth quarter, I think Colorado scores a field goal or a touchdown, and ASU's third unit is in. So a dominant win, a 20-point win, but it might look even better than that.
Yeah, drop your score predictions in the chat. I also have a dominant one here. Arizona State doubling up Colorado 42-21. I think, again, another week of this offense, regardless of Tyson plays or not. I think the Sun Devils get the job done. Jeff Sims goes crazy again. Raleek Brown. The defense potentially scores a touchdown in this game as well. I just really, again, I could see them maybe starting a little slow, just based off of, the weather maybe in the road. But this Colorado defense has just been so bad this year that it's tough to imagine a world where this ASU offense that has been on a slight heater as of late with Jeff Sims doesn't find some sort of success. Short Bus in the chat has 28-14 ASU. Sharon's got 27-10. Parker's got 32-13. What do you got, Deli Man?
Yeah, I'm with the chat. I don't think they're putting up 40-something points. I know this defense is bad, but the offense just hasn't shown the explosives yet. They haven't shown these big plays. It's all been methodical. It's all been they're going to suck so much time off.
Arizona put 52 on their head.
Yeah, Arizona has explosives, brother.
52 points?
Yes, Arizona.
This team has explosive players.
Explosives plays. When's the last explosive play they had?
I mean, Jeff Sims ran for, an 80-yard touchdown 2 games ago?
2 games ago. And then...
So 2 games ago.
Yeah, but other than that, that's the only one that we can point to.
Utah put 53 on their head.
Yeah, that's... They yeah. Regardless, I would love it. I think they're going to take too much time off the clock. It's going to be a game that ASU controls, but they win handedly 31-10.
31-10. I'll take it. I mean, I'll take any victory. Your dad has a close one, Rubis. 28-26 ASU. I'd be pretty upset if that was the final score.
Noted Dion believer.
Noted Dion believer. Jeff Ruby.
Yes.
Tough here, man. Again, let us know what you think is going to go down tomorrow at Folsom Field. Score predictions in the chat. Again, both Rubis and I and the Deli Man have the Sun Devils getting the job done here. I think this is going to be great. Hung Yo Head says he's going to donate $100 next stream if ASU scores 42. Okay. 40, more, 42 or more? Or do they have to hit 42 exactly? I need to know because I've had so many fans over the years come in the chat saying that they're going to give me X, Y, and Z money, specifically Colorado fans, saying how much money they're going to spend and DM me and do all this stuff if Colorado is this, that, or the other. Haven't seen them in about a full calendar year at this point. All those Colorado fans.
$5,000?
Something like that. I had a Colorado fan come in here and say that they were going to give me just loads of money if they didn't do a certain thing, and they have yet to do the certain thing. So we'll see. Kind of convenient how they don't show up anymore in the chat.
Weird.
Yeah.
Must be a mistake. They probably can't find the stream.
Something along those lines, man.
Maybe they got sick.
Maybe, potentially. But look, that's not the only massive Big 12 game going on, and certainly not the only game that is going to have Big 12 championship implications throughout the weekend. Just taking a look at the rest of the Big 12 slate. Again, we're going to be doing our watch-along right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel when the Sun Devils kick off at 6 p.m. local time. We're also going to have our eyes, Rubis, on the BYU-Cincinnati game kicking off simultaneously on Fox. How are we feeling about that game? BYU is a 2.5-point favorite, and the over-under on that one is 55.5.
I know ASU, we need certain results to happen. We need Cincinnati to beat BYU, and obviously that's not something I think a lot of people expect. I don't know, maybe you could tell me if you're feeling similarly, but because of last year, I'm almost feeling strangely calm about all of this. I'm like, oh, it's going to work out the way it needs to work out, right? And I don't know if that's just me looking at last year and everything worked out the way it was supposed to, but I don't know, man. I feel good about Cincinnati picking up a win over BYU this weekend, being mad about losing to U of A and taking it out on BYU. I mean, the stars are aligning.
What do you think, Deli Man?
In that game specifically?
Yeah.
I mean, we have voodoo hex juju. There's something crazy is going to happen. ASU has no business
going to the Big 12 championship.
Yeah, none. and we'll be in Texas in about 3 weeks.
Let's go.
So,
yeah.
And Hung Yo Head, you better charge your iPad because
you're going back to the Alamo Bowl.
Get ready to learn Alamo Bowl, buddy.
Oh man, look, I have been against BYU at every single turn this year, and every single time they've won. I've expected them to lose time and time again, and they just find ways to pull out victories. Now, what I will say is Cincinnati's at home. It's a big game. They're looking for a bounce back. And Cincinnati's the type of team that you don't want to fall down to them early, especially at home, because Brendan Sorsby will carve you up on the ground. Love the play-action pass. When Cincinnati is bad, it's when they have to play from behind, and they have to air it out with Sorsby. But when they control the game, that's when Cincinnati's dangerous. So if Cincinnati takes an early lead in that one, then all bets are off. I think Cincinnati certainly can win that game. I think they're getting some love and some respect, right, from Vegas, being only a 2.5 point dog to the number 11 team in the country, who just absolutely whopped TCU a week ago. Regardless, I think it's going to be a great game. I do not think it's going to be a blowout either way. I think this is a game that will come down to the potential final drive. I don't know who's going to win, man. I don't. I've bet against BYU all year. I'm not going to do it again. I don't want to be a reason that, they continue their string of success. And so maybe me not picking is a way to curb the BYU win.
This is the most BYU thing ever, right? It's get stomped by Tech, go out, stomp TCU. Everybody, including me, is like, wow, you're actually so good. This is the best football you're playing. You're the number 11 team in the country. And then go out and lose in Cincinnati, right? I mean, look, Arizona and BYU played earlier in the season, and Arizona peed down their leg and lost that game. It was not BYU playing better and winning. Cincinnati and Arizona just played, and Arizona barely won. Now Cincinnati and BYU play. I don't think that this is some lopsided matchup. Obviously, the books agree, and this is the perfect time. This is when BYU starts to, crap their pants like TCU did against ASU weeks ago, where it's just like, oh, yep, you just handed it, you just gave it away. Like that is who BYU is as a program right now, and this weekend is the weekend that they can prove that that's different. Until they do, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, Zan in the chat says letdown game versus bounce back game at home. Cincy can do it for us. One thing I will say, man, is if Cincy does win that game, it is going, and ASU takes care of business, it is going to be one hell of an environment at Mountain America Stadium next Friday. It's already trending toward a sellout. Wouldn't be shocked if that game sold out before tomorrow's game even kicked off.
Yeah, that game is selling out 100%. Ticket prices are crazy.
It's going to be... I'm just amped. I'm amped for it regardless. But yeah, certainly ASU going into the Territorial Cup with a chance to, again, make the Big 12 championship.
Because this is the hardest thing. Cincinnati winning is the hardest thing.
Cincinnati is the hardest thing. Then, of course, you need TCU to win next week.
I think that's harder.
Over Cincy.
No.
I think this is harder because it sucks.
TCU can again, explode, though.
TCU is the type of team that can get ahead, right, with Hoover. And then again, I do not like Brennan Sorsby playing from behind. I do not like it. He needs to have a lead because of the way that he functions as a quarterback. TCU could certainly take the lead.
Both of those quarterbacks, though.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We'll see. Let's just take care of business this week. We need Cincinnati to take care of BYU. In terms of other games, UCF at home against Oklahoma State, the I Don't Care Bowl. Really, no one cares about that game. I guess, honestly, if you're an Oklahoma State fan, this is probably your last opportunity to get a conference win. So take it. I guess also, if you live in Florida, those tickets are $7 right now. So go, I guess, if you got nothing else to do at 2 p.m. on Saturday. TCU at Houston, I feel like could be a sneaky good game. Houston's only a 1.5 point favorite in that game. Houston is ranked number 23 in the college football playoff rankings, so this could certainly be a game that if you are Arizona State, you win this week, Houston loses, you should move up. How are you feeling about that one?
Oh, man, I just can't figure out TCU, man. I can't figure out Houston either. I'm shocked that they're still ranked in the college football playoff rankings. I just can't figure them out. This is going to be probably the weirdest game of the weekend. There's going to be some shenanigans that goes on in Houston, TCU.
Oh, 1,000%. Kansas State at Utah. This feels like it could get ugly. Utah should take care of Kansas State. Kansas State, I mean, it's honestly just been such a weird year for them from opening the year in Ireland to where they're at now. Kansas State's still not bowl eligible with 2 games left. So this is again, like, you'd like to get it this week as opposed to going into your final game of the year trying to fight for bowl eligibility. Granted, they do play Colorado to end the season. But again, I think this one could be interesting. Would be massive if Utah lost in terms of their chances to make the college football playoff, or realistically just the Big 12 championship game as well. Baylor at Arizona. I I think this is a perfect opportunity for Arizona to prove that they are not just a one-hit wonder where they could beat Cincy. They've been tight in a couple games this year. BYU, Houston ultimately lost. Got to probably beat Baylor, right? Baylor's been pretty ass over the last month and a half. No reason in my mind that Arizona shouldn't win at home in this game.
Yeah, Arizona should definitely win. I mean, Baylor's just not been good, right?
Yeah.
Now, granted, Baylor's weakness doesn't exactly play into Arizona's offensive strengths. So that is definitely something to watch. And this one's at Arizona, right?
Correct.
Yeah, that it'll be interesting. New naming rights to their stadium, people probably flooding in, in masses and to support their guys.
It may be too hot. It may be too hot for the fans to sit outside and watch that game.
Have we thought about covering up the entire stadium with a tarp?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I just know some folks on social media say it might be too hot. So we'll see. Excuses are like assholes. Everybody's got them, and they all stink, man. Kansas at Iowa State, 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. What do we think goes down in Ames, man?
Ooh. Football.
Good call. Football.
On
that note.
What do you think?
I think Kansas wins, man. I think Iowa State falls here. I think Jalen Daniels gets his last big win of his college career. Big win, Iowa State after a down year. But I could see it going either way, honestly. Iowa State's a 3.5-point favorite, but wouldn't shock me if we said Kansas won that game, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, Iowa State's really banged up, but Kansas sucks. Kansas is so bad.
Yeah,
hey, this is the battle of mid, but worse. This is a tough one.
Before we get to ASU hoops and before we hit our final break, Dave Aranda, you're back. You are back at Baylor in 2026, according to the president of Baylor, not the president of the United States.
Okay.
I am shocked. I am absolutely shocked that Dave Aranda is going to still lead Baylor next year. This fan base has been pretty up in arms this season about wasting Sawyer Robertson this year. I'm blown away by it, honestly.
This reminds me of this video from the student newspaper that I saw a couple weeks ago over in Baylor, and they put a big poster board up, and it was split down the middle and said, should Baylor fire Dave Aranda? Put a sticker over here for yes and a sticker over here for no. And there was 2 stickers on no, and everyone else was saying fire this dude. Even people who are yeah, I don't really, follow the football program that much, but I want him gone. It's bad. And I'm shocked too, but I'm grateful. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Let's go.
1000%. Welcome back, Dave. Welcome back to the Big 12 one more year.
This is Dave Aranda's conference.
You're right. It is. It is Dave Aranda's conference. We are all just here. Look, we are going to talk ASU hoops on the other side of our final break. Look, again, Territorial Cup next Friday, Arizona State against Arizona at Mountain America Stadium, place where the Arizona State Sun Devils have been pretty damn good since that naming partner, Mountain America Credit Union, came around. Look, part of the reason why I love Mountain America Credit Union, we talked earlier, I love to save money, I love to make money, and I love my money to work for me. And it feels like that's exactly the case with your Mountain America My Style checking account, because it's got perks just for you. You guys can enjoy, again, restaurant deals, mobile phone protection, telehealth access, identity protection, loan rate discounts, offers on travel and events, and more. Your My Style checking account literally working for you. Make sure you make My Style your lifestyle at Mountain America Credit Union. Also, Mountain America Credit Union going the extra mile supporting student athletes and the community, providing $20,000 in scholarships to local student athletes each year. Mountain America, of course, is dedicated to guiding members and communities forward. Learn more at macu.com/ASU. Insured by NCUA. Terms, conditions, and exclusions apply. Loans on approved credit.
Look, you know us. Around here, We like to celebrate, we like to cheer, and we always like to keep it local. That's why Three Amigos Tequila is a staple for PHNX Sun Devils, and all Arizona sports fans. Family owned right here in the Valley, founded in 1939 and crafted in Mexico with 100% blue Weber agave. It's award winning for a reason, smooth, bold, and made for moments that matter. It is so good. We've had it in quite a couple of different varieties. We've sipped on some añejo. You've made some Bloody Marias, had some tequila sunrises.
And I have heard we've already got some pre-made Three Amigos margaritas waiting for us in the fridge for tomorrow night. Word on the street.
Yeah,
Word on the street.
If you guys would have showed up to our thing last night, you guys would have had them already. They're great.
Well, I wanted to make sure that we had some for tomorrow's watch along. I like to savor my Three Amigos. So for the season, tailgate toast and celebrate with the Valley's favorite tequila, Three Amigos.
Do it. Do that thing.
Do it.
Just like ASU Hoops did that thing.
4-1, baby. That 4-1 feeling.
I mean, they continue to be semi-fun. Right?
Yeah.
Which is, I feel like, all you can kind of ask for from this team.
No, they're fun. They're not
semi-fun. They're fun.
They're fun. They're 100% fun.
They beat Hawaii 83-76. The Sun Devils getting the best of the Rainbow Warriors. Look, guys, as it is always time for Love to Play, brought to you by our friends over at Arizona Lottery. Play and gift today. The Deli Man, I'm going to continue to go back to you on this one here. What was your favorite play of the downing of the Rainbow Warriors?
There's a couple to pick from, but I'll go from my player of the game. Surprisingly, not Bryce Ford, JJ, even though Bryce Ford is my king. Alan Mukeba, who had to play a ton because Job got in foul trouble early. Not only did he hold his own, he helped ASU win that game. So my favorite play of the game, I love the play of the game, is on a missed modem 3. He tips the ball out to, I think, Pig. Pig gets it back into him. I don't think he even got away with a hook. He just flat out beat their center on the baseline, and then their center acted like he was hurt, and he went for a reverse jam, and that was almost the nail in the coffin. So that was my favorite play of the game. But honorable mention to Masamba Diop running the floor and just man-powering his way to a rim run dunk.
Dude, Mukeba's really good. He's super
he was
fun.
good last night.
He was super athletic,
This
man.
is the first time I've been impressed with this whole game.
He also had 4 fouls last night.
I don't care.
Both teams were in the double bonus like 8 minutes ago. It was crazy.
So, ASU Shane, that play where the guy pretended to be injured on that offensive rebound that he tipped out to our boy Pig Glizzy, he kicked the dude in the nuts. And then the dude was like, "Ooh, ow!" And then they got the ball back to Mukeba. He spun on him, and the guy was like, "Oh!" And then
Big Johnson was 16 off the bench, by the way.
Yep, another game where he scores 14 points in the second half.
Yeah, he's fun. He is fun. There are I don't know. ASU men's basketball. I'm like afraid to like dip my toe in the water, because I don't want to get hurt again, man. But I feel like if this team continues to rattle off fun wins, then I will be forced to dive in head first to ASU hoops. But again, 83-76. If you didn't catch the game, well, no worries, because we got By the Numbers presented by Desert Financial Credit Union, Arizona's #1 credit union, named by Forbes. Rubus, you know the shtick. The only number that matters is that final score. ASU coming out on top over the Rainbow Warriors, 83-76. Now, Hawaii did shoot better than the Sun Devils from the floor, 46% to 42% again in favor of Hawaii. But from three-point land, it wasn't the Rainbow Warriors. It was Arizona State's night, 37% in favor of Hurley's Devils, 26% on the other end. The team's dead even when it came to rebounds, 33 apiece. Fast break points, though, Arizona State had the advantage, 17-5. And then turnovers forced. This has been a trend all year long, honestly been a trend with Bobby Hurley as the coach. This team forces the opposition into uncomfy situations. 17 turnovers forced for the Sun Devils, just 8 on the end of Hawaii. What sticks out most to you, Rubus, or I guess what did stick out most last night?
From that, it's the turnovers forced. That full court press that they're doing, it seems to be pretty well executed. I like their communication on defense, but it's not a number that's on that graphic. 24 of 37, Anthony Totri.
24 of 37.
Stop it. Stop.
This team needs to hit their damn free throws.
Yes, they do, but
dude,
that's not what we're talking about right now.
Stop it.
It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable to shoot 65%
this isn't new,
from the
though.
line. That's the problem.
Like a new thing.
It's a new set of players, and why can nobody at Arizona State hit free throws?
Deliman, do you have an answer? Because I think it's a valid question that the last 3 years
what
they
is
can't hit free
going
throws.
on?
Here's the thing. If you're a fan of college basketball, your team can't shoot free throws. That's what this freaking sport does, dude.
I mean, Hawaii shot 77%.
I
Can we at least shoot what Hawaii shoots?
I know. But this is not the league. Like, look, it's a problem, and it has been a problem. They've been in the bottom of the conference in free throw percentage. But if you watch college basketball, you're going to be pissed that your team doesn't shoot free throws. Total on the year, they're shooting 67%, which in my estimation is probably about nation average, which is crazy to say. I'm gonna look.
Arizona State currently is tied for the second worst free throw percentage in the conference.
Yeah, in the conference.
Yeah.
Dude, 67
they are tied with Iowa State
no.
at 67.7. The only team that has a worse free throw percentage is Cincinnati.
Duke Brennan's still leading in rebounds per game, by the way.
That's crazy. 63.4%. Arizona State, they just...
Look, it's a problem. It is, 100%. But we were talking about fun things, Ruby, and then you just made stuff bad.
We were talking about fun things, and then Ruby decided...
You can't talk about this team without talking about that. But other than that, they are really, really fun. I still enjoy Mo Odom's game. I think he's a really, really fun player. Bryce Ford is going to be one guy that just catches fire. I wouldn't be surprised if he has the highest scoring game by any Sun Devil this season. And look, the fact that Jop went out with foul trouble and then didn't have to finish the game, and ASU felt comfortable with Mukeba and who they had out there, I think that's a really big testament to this team and their mindset. And if they can do that on a night-to-night basis, they will surprise some teams in the Big 12. Now they move on to the Maui Invitational, and I'm excited to see what they can do against Texas. Okay, so as JJ pointed out, they are 267th in free throw percentage in the country. But so remember what we said. How many college basketball teams are there in college basketball?
300 plus.
365. You know what the 180th team shoots in free throws percentage, which would be about league average? 69%.
Nice.
This is college basketball, guys. We have to remember that.
Yeah.
We can point out the fact that it's a problem, but just know that this is a as I said, if you are a fan of a college basketball team, your team can't make free throws. That's just what it is. That being said, figured out, but move on to the next one.
Make free throws.
The last thing I will say about this game, what I really liked that I haven't seen Bobby Hurley teams do often, the press was on, but the press was on while Hawaii was trying to speed up, which you would think would be counterintuitive because you're speeding a team up with the press. But it was actually acting as a different, or as the opposite, where they were in the press, but it was almost like a cover two shell in football, where they were just keeping everything in front of them, and it slowed the game down. And I want to see more of that from these Hurley teams, where they press while they're up 5 with like a minute to go, because then it just causes chaos, which is awesome.
I could be here for it. Arizona State's next game is on the 24th. They play Texas, 9:30 tip on ESPN2 to tip off the Southwest Maui Invitational. Should be a fun one. ESPN's matchup predictor, though, only giving Arizona State a 13.8% chance to win that game. So we'll see. We'll see if Hurley's Devils have it in them, guys. But that is going to do it for today's episode of the PHNX Sun Devils Show. Again, really, really appreciate everybody watching live after the fact or listening on audio as well. Makes a massive difference for us when you guys are here consuming all this awesome Arizona State content. And hopefully we get a banger of a game in favor of an Arizona State blowout on Saturday, and hopefully Cincinnati does their part. But again, we'll be right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel doing about a 30-minute pregame show, about a half hour prior to kickoff, so make sure you're tuned in for that. A watch-along for the entire game, and then a PHNX Sun Devils post-game show as well, again, right here on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. So if you want to continue gathering all of this Arizona State news, content, news notes, all the things, give the show a follow at PHNX_Sun Devils You can follow me at Anthony_Totri. You can follow Old Dog Legs at Erik Ruby. That is Erik with a K. You can follow the Deli Man at Shane D.
Looking past Colorado, as always, I'm looking at you, Matas Fokatitis. Masamba Jop is coming.
What a great T-shirt, Erik. The fact that we've been hiding this the entire time
how have you not showed that?
Absurd. Absolutely absurd. Phenomenal shirt. Angry runs. Also, let Cam Scattaboo be Cam Scattaboo, and if you don't like it, just F off, man. F off. Go Devils.
God forbid a white boy gets some motion.
We'll see you tomorrow. In peace.
We all silly like the mayor.